Well, hello there. Today we are going to be talking about jailbreaking the PS5. We're going to take a look at what jailbreaking is, why you'd want to jailbreak the PS5, is it even legal, and can it even be done? Let's get into it. First off, what even is jailbreaking? Jailbreaking is to modify an electronic device to remove restrictions imposed by the manufacturer or operator, e.g. to allow the installation of unauthorized software. And why would we want to do this? Now, the advantage of jailbreaking is that it opens up a game console or device to run games and apps that it wouldn't usually be able to handle. In the past, we've seen the likes of Nintendo Switch hacked to run Windows in this way. In other words, a jailbroken console could run homebrewed apps and other softwares it wasn't intended for and pirated games. Is it even legal to jailbreak a console? Technically, it's not illegal to jailbreak the console because it's your own property. However, if you use said property to consume pirated media, well, that is illegal. So therefore, I'd like to say this video is for education purposes only, and I'm not advocating that you engage in such illegal activities. That being said, how would you jailbreak a console? There are two main components to a jailbreak. Number one, a way to run unsigned code, what we usually refer to as a user mode exploit on the console or hacking scene. And from here, number two, some sort of privilege escalation to gain control of the console, what is typically called a kernel exploit. In essence, these two components combined provide the necessary clearance to override the console security protocols and then use this clearance to prevent the console from stopping unauthorized software from running. While jailbreaks exist for the PS3 and PS4, no one has managed to crack the PS5 yet, although one developer called The Flow seems to be working on it. However, their lead developer doesn't even have a PS5 yet, so I wouldn't expect to see that anytime soon. Another developer called ZLongPTR posted a tweet last December stating that a kernel exploit that currently works on the PS4 firmware 9.0 or under says that the same exploit works on the PS5 running the same firmware or lower. However, this is only half of the jailbreak components I mentioned earlier. Now, even if a jailbreak for the PS5 is achieved, it won't be without some caveats. For example, what you can and cannot do with a jailbreak depends entirely on what kind of exploit it is. For example, the PS3 could go online without getting banned. If it does get banned, you could just replace the CID and get back on. PS4 hasn't been around for as long yet, but you can still do some pretty cool stuff. It can play online, just not using PSN. You cannot log into a non-issue. The PS5 has no exploit, and to release a jailbreak before the bulk of games have been released would be a mistake. The earlier a system is jailbroken, the earlier Sony starts patching future games to not work on jailbreakable firmware. We saw this in the early jailbreaks for the PS4. So if and when a jailbreak is released for the PS5, it's highly likely that Sony will find ways to patch their lapses in security, or you could find yourself getting banned from PSN or unable to use the jailbroken system online. Okay, so now we learned what jailbreaking is and the state of jailbreaking for the PS5, but now let's say the PS5 is successfully jailbroken. What kind of things could you do with it? The first and most common use would be to play pirated games, but that's not the only thing they could do with a jailbroken PS5. Jailbreaking it would open it up to being modded, where the console ecosystem is pretty closed off to modding. There's potentially a wide variety of homebrewed software mods you could download and apply to various games that apply various effects. For example, mods that can add things to the game that the developer did not, gear, modifiers and other game specific things, or shaders, for example, to improve the graphics. There could be potential for hardware mods for things like better video output, increased RAM, or adding sound channels, but again, these would all have to be developed. And you could also run non-native operating systems, potentially like Linux or Windows, just like the PS4 did. These could be used to run modern PC games on average settings, since the architecture of the PS5 is like a solid mid-range gaming PC. For example, you could run Switch or Xbox emulators to play their respective games, and these could run fairly smoothly given the power of the PS5. Now let me know in the comments if you would jailbreak your PS5 and what you would do with said jailbroken PS5, and I'll make another jailbreaking video as more information becomes available. Hit that red button for more PS5 knowledge, and I will see you in the next one.